These are the top 5 standard decks you need to prepare for in the Set 9 meta. The standard format, in my opinion, is in a great place, where no deck seems unbeatable and that you change your playstyle accordingly depending on what you're up against. A common theme you'll be seeing throughout the top 5 is just how much card advantage matters in the current meta. Decks that can draw or drive check a lot tend to do better. Without further ado, let's get started with the number 1 deck of this format, Chronojet. This deck has a great early rush game. On your first attacking turn, you have Brainwash Swirler to help you soul charge 1. This gives you enough soul to use GG to draw. Not only do we get 3 swings from this play, we also get an extra soul and an extra card. If our opponent doesn't remove these units, we can simply move them back and they will still be effective. Swirler will still get the power boost as we soul charge with other Swirlers, and GG can be a time leaped and caught out again for the draw. Our turns are quite weak after our turn 1 play until we get to Stride, but it is worth the wait because the strides accumulate so much value. First off is Fate Rider Dragon. For the majority of our turns, this is the stride we will be going into. A play that we will most likely do is attack with Upstream Dragon, using its effect and go into either Swirler or GG depending on the game state, if we want more draw or power. Then using Fate Rider's effect to time leap the Grey 1 away for another Grey 2, either Arlim or Amazement Magician. Again, either for more value or winning the game. Then to close the game out, we can go into Chrono Dragon next stage for the swing with the Guard Restrict later on Chronojet Dragon. While everything I just mentioned is incredibly strong, the reason why everyone rates this deck so highly is because of the crest. Although Chronojet does not have the ability to Persona Ride, giving all front row units a power boost of plus 5k for every face-up G unit gets out of control very quickly. Because for as quick as the second time we stride, if we went into Fate Rider both turns, our front row has plus 15k power, practically being better than Persona Ride already. And here's the sample deck list. This is a standard Chronojet list that utilizes Amazement Magician to soul charge and constantly power up our Brainwash Swirlers to hit even bigger numbers. Number 2 on the list is Eva. Eva remains as a top contender in this format. It is hard to justify the number 1 spot because not only can Chronojet go toe-to-toe with Eva, I feel like Chronojet has an easier time fighting other decks. The deck still excels in putting on incredible amounts of pressure, even more so now with the introduction of another Obscudite. Now with 8 Obscudites in rotation, we are more free to run cards that can exert more pressure or cards that can generate more card advantage, where cards like Secondo can now be excluded. Additionally, the new research order also allows us to find our Obscudites faster. Result of the experiment henceforth remains as a staple for the deck as it prevents our Obscudites destruction and recycles them to be used later either as attackers or more shield. A new card that people have been running is Versatile Assembler. Versatile Assembler says, auto, when this unit is placed on Rearguard Circle, cost Soul Blast 1, look at the top 7 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 set order from among them, reveal it and put it into your hand, and shuffle your deck. Auto rear, once per turn, when your other unit is placed on rear by a card's ability, this unit gets boost until the end of turn. I think it's pretty obvious why people have been experimenting with this card. We can deck bin to search for orders as well as provide a 10k boost almost for certainty because our Eva search for the Obscudites. While this card is really good in my opinion, it is a book promo and hard to get, so sticking with a card like Wyberos still provides enough upsides without breaking the bank. Anyways, here's the sample deck list. Let's talk about Youthberg next. Yes, this deck is very popular and powerful, and it did just win the World Championships. But I don't think it's the best deck even with the new support from Set 9. Let's take a look at the new card, Knight of Plowing, Dobrig. Auto front row Rearguard Circle. When your Vanguard is placed on Vanguard Circle by the Rebel Dress ability, choose one of your Vanguards and it gets power plus 5k until end of turn. Auto Rearguard Circle, when this unit attacks a grade 3 or greater unit, cost Soul Blast 1 card with Rebel form in its card name, and this unit gets power plus 10k until end of that battle. This is a much better attacker as not only does it power up itself, we no longer have to swing with a Rearguard first and then our Vanguard to get the 5k boost. This actually matters a lot because we run fronts in the deck. We get essentially another trigger's worth of power just by changing our attack pattern. With that said, Schneizel is still in our deck to search out the Rebel forms. Most of the deck remains unchanged, Sequana for the extra drive and Wayward Therapy Angel for easy discard. Rebel form Tempest as our optimal Rebel Dress and Gus as our finisher option. And here's the sample deck list. I'm gonna give number 4 to Overlord. I think after the top 3, a lot of decks can easily be discussed as the 4th or 5th best deck. I chose Dote mainly because it was already pretty good and now it just got to do the same thing it did but 1 turn faster thanks to the promo, Ardor Hatchet Dragon. Ardor Hatchet Dragon says, continuous on Guardian Circle, if your soul has a card with Overlord in its card name, this unit gets shield plus 5k. And Act Rearguard Circle, if your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, cost retire this unit, Choose a grade 3 card with Overlord and its card name from your drop and put it into your soul. This card essentially lets us play Draconic Overlord at the end in our right line rather than the original Draconic Overlord. While this card is a little piece reliant where we need to find this as well as Draconic Overlord, we have Burning Horn Dragons to search for it. We're still running the Grey 1 promo because it's a free 13k booster when discarded for Overlord skill, as well as running draw triggers to up our chances of seeing our pieces. And here's the deck list. Before I talk about my 5th pick, I want to give some honorable mentions to Magnolia and Minerva. These decks could have also been in my top 5 list as Magnolia thrives in the late game and Minerva is so consistent in what it does. However, because these decks remain relatively similar to its builds from before, I want to take the time to talk about a new deck that was honestly pretty bad before Set 9, but rose to the top because of a couple of support cards. For number 5, I'm giving it to Welstra. This deck got 2 cards in this set that pushed it from a deck that desperately needed support to one of the best in the format. First off is Operating Master, Freiheits. Auto, when this unit is placed on Rear Circle, if your order zone has a set order, cost, counterblast 1 and discard a card from hand. Search your deck for up to 1 card with the same card name as your Vanguard or up to 1 product card. Review it and put it into your hand, and shuffle your deck. If you have a Vanguard with Welstra and its card name, choose up to 1 product card from your hand, and put it into the order zone. Auto, Rearguard Circle, when this unit attacks a Vanguard, if you have a Vanguard with Welstra and its card name, cost, Soul Blast 2, choose a product from your order zone and operate it. Not only does this card search for the Persona rides, it also puts Freischütz Maximum in the order zone 1 turn faster, making Welstra a turn 3 deck, and not relying on the grade 2 Freischütz. Additionally, this card allows us to operate multiple times during the battle phase. The most operates we can do now is 4 in a turn, with either Iskra or Hofleo during the main phase, then 2 Freiheits and of course Welstra. If we want to operate Freischütz Maxima every single time, this pushes our opponent's Vanguard to minus 7k power. Instead of the grade 2 Freischütz order, we can play the other new card, Assault Flight Carrier Lupzo. Auto, when this card is put into the order zone, if you have a Vanguard with Blitz in its card name, draw a card and Soul Charge 1. Operate, Auto, Order Zone, when this card is operated, if it is in your main phase, look at the top 5 cards of your deck and choose up to 1 unit card from among them with grade less than or equal to your Vanguard, call it to Rearguard Circle. Shuffle your deck. If it's your battle phase, draw a card. This card gives us the soul and card advantage we were lacking from Welstra in Set 7. The soul that we generated from this card and Bulba Mine allows us to consistently operate with Freiheits. Additionally, this gives us a better option on turn 2 to operate other than the cannon. And here's a simple deck list. So, these are the top 5 decks I think you need to be prepared for in the Set 9 meta. What other decks do you think I should have put in the top 5? Let me know in the comments and I'll see you all next time.